Hello, Profit Hackers. I'm Jeremy Lott, the Chief Visionary for Foundation Accounting and Consulting. I owned a construction company for about 15 years before making a change to accounting because my accountants sucked. My goals are to simplify accounting for construction company owners, fuel your profits, level up your cash flow, and help you grow in a financially responsible way. So let's go. Hello. Today we're going to talk about indirect costs. The yellow M&Ms, all the other things that go on the truck to the job site. I grew up playing soccer and I loved it. I was never super great at soccer, but I had a lot of heart, so that made up for a lot of what I lacked in skills and in game IQ. But I also wrestled. So I was kind of a goon on the soccer field. A little bit rough and tumble, a little bit out of control. I fouled a lot. I got in trouble a lot. But I loved it. And I played it all the way up through high school. And my senior year of high school, see, I'd always played a defender because that's kind of where you put your goons in soccer. And I was often put in to mark really good players and make sure they didn't touch the ball during the game. And I was really good at that. Well, we had one game my senior year where the defenders on the other team were really beating us up. Our forwards were just getting pushed and shoved all over and fouled a lot. And a lot of things weren't being called. So my coach made the decision to have me go mark one of these defenders in particular that was giving us all kinds of problems. And so I eagerly went out there to go toe-to-toe with another defender. And in the course of marking him and making sure that he left our forwards alone, I ended up scoring 2 times that game. And the end of the story is that they moved me to forward and started playing me there the rest of the year. But it was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun to be able to continue playing forward because I was able to mix it up with the defenders, which were usually a lot tougher than the forwards. So you could get a lot more physical with them. So anyway, the point there is that, yes, I was responsible for marking that person and staying on top of that defender. But something great happened on the side as a result of that, which is that I scored a couple times. And in our businesses, we have other things that indirectly affect our gain. And these are called overhead or indirect costs. These are all the other things that go on that truck to the job site that we may not think of. Some examples of things that go on that truck to the job site that would be considered overhead items or yellow M&Ms are things like insurance and cell phone and vehicle expenses and benefits or payroll expenses. Education and training. Those are some examples of some different indirect costs that go on that truck to the job site. See, without fuel, I can't get people to and from the job site, and I can't get materials to and from the job site. Without insurance, I legally can't do any work on the job site. Without a cell phone, I can't communicate with people on the job site. So all of these things are costs that the job needs to be accountable for, but it's really hard for the job to be accountable for those things because you can't really say this job is accountable for this cell phone bill, right? So instead, what we have to do is gather up all of these indirect costs and then figure out a way to be able to dump them out onto individual jobs so that each job is covering a fair portion of their indirect costs or their overhead, right? And we'll talk more about that later, but for now, that covers indirect costs and the yellow M&Ms. So again, just to go over it again, all the on the truck costs, meaning the direct expenses or the direct costs and the indirect costs or overhead, are separated from the green and brown M&Ms and put in a group together to represent all of the costs to do that work, right? Now, this is definitely different from what our friends who use the GAAP reporting actually do, right? Because in the world of GAAP, the only things that are considered as costs are materials and labor and other direct costs, right? That's legally all you can put as cost of goods sold. So you don't include your insurance or your cell phone. You don't include your vehicle fuel or repairs. You don't include any of those yellow items on a GAAP profit and loss. But we are going to get away from that and separate those out altogether so that we can get a better idea of what's going on with our business and what our true costs really are. So we'll talk again next time about the brown M&Ms and the selling general and admin expenses and other things that go into those brown M&Ms. So thank you very much. Thanks for listening. If you found this episode helpful, please like and subscribe for weekly episodes to help you fuel your profit, level up your cash flow, and finance your growth. Until next time, go enjoy some green M&Ms and protect that cash.